Is that the attention grabber or what? Please rise in body or spirit and join us in singing our opening hymn, number 347, Gather the Spirit. Can you hear me? Oh, cool. Yeah. Good morning and welcome. I'm Shelley, your worship associate at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Charlotte County. Welcome to all of you, old friends and new, young and old. You're an essential part of our celebration today, whether today is your first or your 1,000th Sunday in our midst. We are stronger because you are with us. We are one people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders. We are all growing and learning, all loved. Just as you are welcome here. In the spirit of our service, and you'll get a little bit more information on it if you haven't read the Friday announcements, I will begin with a poem by E.E. Cummings that I read in my early high school years and really found it very hopeful. And I think at the end you'll understand why I found it hopeful. And forgive me, when you read E.E. Cummings, space matters, right? All right. So one winter afternoon, at the magical hour when is becomes if, a bespangled clown standing on 8th Street handed me a flower. Nobody, it's safe to say, observed him but myself, and why? Because without any doubt, he was whatever, first and last, most people fear most, a mystery for which I've no word except alive. That is, completely alert and miraculously whole, with not merely a mind and a heart, but unquestionably a soul, by no means funerarily hilarious or otherwise democratic, but essentially poetic or thoroughly serious. A fine, not a coarse clown, no mob but a person. And while never saying a word, was anything but dumb, since the silence of him self-sang like a bird. Most people have been heard screaming for international measures that render hell rational. I thank heaven somebody's crazy enough to give me a daisy. You can see why I love that one. Anyway, this service is being broadcast live on YouTube and will be available as a recording on the UUFCC YouTube channel after the service. Remember to put your phones in meditation mode. And for those of you who are listening or watching virtually, please, you may wish to have a chalice during the lighting ritual. I wish to express my gratitude to all those that make this service possible, the technology team, the Buildings and Ground team, our greeters, our music folks, our kitchen folks, and our office staff. Thank you. And Laura, these flowers are amazing. I'm looking at these berries. They're absolutely gorgeous. I also wish to express my gratitude for those who support our fellowship with their financial support through their pledges and donations. If you're new here or returning from a long time, please stand in body or spirit, or wave and state your first name and where you're from so that we may welcome you. Anybody? We do have a hand over here.
Hi, my name's Margot. It's my first time. Thank you.
And wherever you are. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Hello, my name is Louise. I used to be a member here, but I haven't been here for about 20 years. When I was here, I developed a brochure, a guide for the Fellowship Gardens. I don't know if you still have it available, but it was a little fold-out to explore and identify all the plants in the little walkway and the Snapper Creek, etc. But, so hello.
Thank you. That's really cool. If you're new at home and would like to learn more about our fellowship, you can email office@uufcc.org or visit our website at uufcc.org. It's being constantly updated with information. And wherever you are, we're glad you have chosen to spend your time with us this morning. And now we will enjoy a prelude from Ryan. Beautiful. Thank you, Ryan. Now we come to the part where we light our chalice, which is the symbol of our faith. And as Lori lights this chalice, I want to share with you words from Brian C. Lee. The light within us. The face and arms of a young person surrounded by darkness are illuminated by the light from the fire in a sky lantern that he is holding and about to launch. We light our chalice as a symbol of the light within us and the life that flows through the world around us. It is our beacon as we search for truth. It is the warmth in our hearts for love. And it is the energy that propels us to action. May we be kindled by our time together. Please repeat after me the words in the order of service on chalice lighting. Love is the spirit of this fellowship, and service is its law. This is our aspiration, to work together in peace, to seek truth in love, and to help one another. Come, let us worship together. Let us open our minds to the challenge of reason, open our hearts to the healing of love, Open our lives to the calling of conscience. Open our souls to the comfort of joy. Astonished by the miracle of life, grateful for the gift of fellowship, confident in the power of living faith, we are here gathered. Come, let us worship together. Today we're doing our service just a little bit differently. Sharon, Ryan, Robert, and Peggy Don will be reading a poem, and then you will be invited to come forward and read a poem, prose, or short story if you wish to share one. In the meantime, if we could all join together and sing hymn number 330, The Arching Sky of Morning Glows. Stand if you are able or willing and willing. In our community, the Book of Life is a tapestry where we weave together the threads of our joys and concerns. Thank you for bringing that to me. Thanks. Our Book of Life offers you the opportunity to share your joys, sorrows, and life milestones with the rest of us by writing them in this red book, looks like that, or by emailing them to bookoflife@uufcc.org by Saturday before the service. After I read the entire entries here, I'll turn the mic on and you'll be able to drop a stone in the water to commemorate directly the deep sorrows or joys you carry with you, however briefly spoken, and they're meant to be brief. They represent our most sacred moments, joyful or sad, although do be aware that they will be publicly broadcast on YouTube. Let's see if we got anything here today. So I turn to page August 25th. Right. The first one's from Joseph. This November, the citizens of Florida will vote on Amendment 4. This amendment will protect women's reproductive rights. Today at 3 p.m. at the UUFCC, there will be a presentation about the amendment. Please join us. There's also little stickers out there if you didn't see them, they're pink. This is from Marvin. Thank you to everyone that helped me go to the convention this year. And then, I'm not sure who this is from. Debbie C. is returning to her Punta Gorda home today. She's grateful for the support of her UUFCC family. And instead of making this an announcement, I wanted to share with you a card that we received from Charlotte Harbor Environmental Center. And that says, thanks so much for you and your fellowship for your donation of, hold on to it, $734. Please be assured that we will use it where most needed. Thanks again in spirit, all of the Czech crowd. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's nice to know how much they wind up, we actually wind up giving. It's very good. All right, so I'm going to turn on the mic, or is the mic already turned on, Tom? It's already turned on. Okay, and if you'd like to share a joy or sorrow, please come forward.
Hi. Yep, it's on. Okay. This stone is for Corey, who should be noticeably absent this morning. Corey has tryouts for his Predators football team in about 10 minutes. So if we could all keep him in our thoughts, this is a really big deal for him, and this is a really good thing for him. So hopes and prayers for a good result this morning, Corey.
I'm putting this stone in the bowl for Ginger. I am so glad she's back.
This week, it's been kind of the time of the year, unfortunately, where you get a glut of passing in your practice. Somewhere at the end of summer, we get people passing, and this week I lost 2 house call patients, both of which were anticipated, neither of which I anticipated that quickly. So I send prayers to both of those families today.
As some of you may know, I make movies. I used to make movies. I'm making a movie. It's the last one took 36 years to finish. It was my son growing up with cerebral palsy, and I lived with him, so I had an easy experience. But this coming week, I get to have my cataracts removed. And it's frightening how I depend on my eyes. In fact, right now, you're all blurry because I was reading the book without my glasses, nearsighted. And so I have a few trepidations about them cutting my eyes, one this week and one the next week, or actually 2 weeks later. And so I pray for good outcomes and for all the love I've experienced here that I know will help me through the scary parts of what if it doesn't work?
I have 2 stones, although it could be many more. Like Ryan said, this is the season of passing. In Riverwood, we've had several neighbors and friends of mine pass over the last 2 or 3 weeks. But there is one that I'm hoping that everybody can reach out to and say a prayer for. His name is Don. His wife is Sandy. They went to Amsterdam. He got hit by an e-bike and punctured his lung. Got in the hospital. And then was taken out, and then he got sepsis from this. So he has been transferred to Germany at a VA hospital and underwent emergency surgery on Wednesday. So far, they've been gone for over 3 weeks, and most of it has been when he's in the hospital. And he's in his 80s. So we're really, really hoping that things turn around for him. And your thoughts are much appreciated in that. And this last stone is for all those joys and sorrows left unsaid but still felt by our community. Maybe hold them dear to our hearts. And please know that we're with you. All right. Now we come to, very sorry. In hopes of meditating and thinking about the joys and sorrows that we have shared with each other, please join us with Spirit of Life, number 123 in the Gray Hymnal. Sharon and I were singing different parts. Alone. Pretty good. All right, so in terms of our service today, we've invited people to come forward to read poetry to us. So I will call the first one, and that is Sharon Whitehill, Sharon, who's written her own poem about promises.
We've spent the month on the theme of promises. And when Shelley invited me to read a poem for her service here, I decided I would write a poem about that theme on promises. I modeled it on a poem by a very well-known poet. Her name is Naomi Shihab Nye. She's a Palestinian-American poet, and her poem was called Kindness. So when you model a poem, you use the basic format and structure of the original, but you put in your own words. And so that's what I did with promises. And I'll try to read it slowly enough so that you can take it in. I know it's difficult to take in poetry just through the ears if it's unfamiliar to you. Promises. Before you can know what promises are, they must be broken on you. Your faith in a parent's protection betrayed. Your belief in a friend's vow disappeared like first snow on the sidewalk. Remember yourself climbing into the saddle again and again with a Charlie Brown hope, even bruised and still spitting out grit. So seduced you were by the sweat, salty tang of a horse. Before you could know what promises are, you must break them. Stare down your shame at what you promised your long ago little girl. Parents fight sometimes. It's okay, I promise we won't get divorced. Step out of your justifications like a skirt you've dropped on the floor, like the skin shed by a snake. Make yourself tender and raw as the child whose trust you breached with a pledge you had neither standing nor wisdom to make. Before you regard any promise as binding, beware of believing that what you are feeling today will endure for the rest of your life. You must study the thousands who've failed because they fell into despair or addiction or simply fell out of love. You must pay heed to women and children in shelters, the victims who clung to their vows to the end. Before you can grasp what your promise implies, you must understand it as an arrangement, not only because of the ease of explaining away your own failings. You promised on impulse. You wanted to please. He broke his promise first. But because even God barters a this for a that. If you believe, you will enter the kingdom of heaven. By the time you come to know promises kept as the foundation for living with others, you will have shown who you are in the face of temptation and shipwreck, conflicting motives, and moral dilemmas. You will know to tell children the truths they are able to hear. Let humility color the hurts, both absorbed and imposed. Let compassion direct you the rest of the way.
Sharon, you always amaze me with your poetry and your writings. It's beautiful. And it was fun to say, do you want an assignment? And she said, yeah, I'll take an assignment. She was a very good student. Give that girl an A. Right, the next one we're going to call up is Ryan. He's got a poem to share with us.
This one I did not write. It's by Dayan Nandan, and it is called A Promise to Yourself. Unparalleled strength resides within our soul, power of the human spirit that we can control. Though it takes a will of steel to tame such power, but when it is mastered, it blooms like a beautiful flower. Great potential lies within each of our souls, more than enough to reach our treasured goals. Let not the words of fear and doubt ever scare you. Let not weakness and sloth cloud your strength so true. Rise above the clouds of doubt and unleash your potential. Keep courage and persistence, for those are essential. Take the risks needed, but minimize them by planning. And before you know it, the game of life you will be winning. Doubt not the human power that dwells deep within. Doubt not your abilities and strength that will make you win. You can be anything you want in life. Trust what you are. For your spirit within burns brighter than every shining star.
Robert, I believe you have something you want to share?
This is a poem that was written by a friend of mine who happens to be female. She is not a girlfriend, she's a friend. Peggy Dunn and I took her to the Frank Sinatra thing in Venice just last week. Treasured friend. A friend is a priceless treasure to be treated with love and respect. A gentle touch, a smile, a kind word, to be there when times are tough, and to rejoice when all is well, to share the laughter and the tears, to help banish all those foolish fears. A friend is someone who still loves you even when you act insane and claims you're not to blame. A friend sees you as a perfect creation, even when you cannot. A friend encourages you to be all you can be and gives you vision so you can see. Worth more than silver and gold, the only thing money can't buy. Thank you. I would like to share a sidebar of this story. We have been friends for 15 years, and she shared with me after I knew her for about 5 years that she first heard of me by reading about me in the paper and a picture of me being arrested in handcuffs on the front page of the Sun. And she said to herself, "Boy, this guy's a jerk." I shared that with Peggy Dawn this morning, and she says, "And sometimes you still can be."
Peggy Dawn, I think you had one.
I did not write this. I shared it with Sharon Whitehill this week, and she thought it would be a good one for me to share with you all. I'm reading a book by Ram Dass called Still Here, on dying and aging and changing. And I was directed to this poem through reading the book, and if there's enough interest in this kind of thinking, and Ram Dass, we could start a book group, reading the book together and discussing it, and I would like that very much. So we'll be looking for anybody who might be interested in that. This is called Oh, Death, posted by Gina Ferrara. Death, I'll try to read slowly because I tend to get speedier as I go along. Death asked me to join him for dinner. So I slipped into my favorite black dress that I had been saving for a special occasion and let him walk me to our candlelight tryst. He ordered a ribeye, extra rare. I ordered 2 desserts and red wine, and then I sipped and wondered why he looked so familiar and smelled like earth and memory. He felt like a place both far away and deep within my body, a place that whispers to me on the crisp autumn breeze along the lineal edges of dusk and dawn, somewhere between dancing and stillness. He looked at me with the endless night sky in his eyes and asked, "Did you live your life, my love?" As I swirled my wine in its glass, I wondered if I understood the thread I wove into greater fabric, if I loved in a way that was deep and freeing, if I let pain and grief carve me into something more grateful, if I made enough space to be in awe that flowers exist and take the time to watch the honeybees drink their sweet nectar, I wondered what the riddles of regret and longing had taught me, and if I realized just how beautiful and insignificant and monstrous that we are here before we all melt back down into ancestors of the land. Death watched me lick buttercream from my fingers as he leaned in close and said, "My darling, it's time." So I slipped my hand into his, and he slowly walked me home. I took a deep breath as he leaned in close for the long kiss goodnight. And I felt a soft laugh leave my lips as his mouth met mine, because I never could resist a man with the lust for my soul in his eyes and a kiss that makes my heart stop.
Wow. Beautiful. At this point in time, I'd like to open up for anyone who would like to come forward and tell a poem or a story or anything, that's moved them and they want to share. Please come up.
Hi, I'm Betty, and it's hard to follow these deep poems. Mine is very lighthearted, but it's one of my favorites, and I've long ago lost the author's name, so please forgive me there. It's entitled A Dog's Bedtime Prayer. Now I lay me down to sleep. The king-size bed is soft and deep. I sleep right in the center groove, so my human beings can hardly move. I've trapped their legs, they're tucked in tight, and here is where I'll pass the night. No one disturbs me or dares intrude till morning comes and I want food. I sneak up slowly to begin and nibble on my human's chin. For morning's here, it's time to play, and I always seem to get my way. So thank you, Lord, for giving me the human person that I see, the one who hugs and holds me tight and shares their bed with me at night.
Good morning. Hi, I'm Joseph, and I want to dedicate this poem to you, written by John O'Donohue. I first encountered him on a show called On Being with Krista Tibbetts, I think. She interviews a lot of people, and he so impressed me. He is a proponent of Celtic wisdom, and worthwhile to read his books. Very, very interesting person. So this is, the name of this poem is Benash. It's a Celtic word that means blessing, and I dedicate this to you because this is the way I feel. On the day when the weight deadens on your shoulders and you stumble, may the clay dance to balance you. When your eyes freeze behind the gray window and the ghost of loss gets into you, may a flock of colors, indigo, red, green, and azure blue, come to awaken in you a meadow of delight. When the canvas frays in the crush of thought and a stain of ocean blackens beneath you, may there come across the waters a path of yellow moonlight to bring you safely home. May the nourish of the earth be yours. May the clarity of light be yours. May the fluency of the ocean be yours. May the protection of the ancestors be yours. And so may a slow wind work these words of love around you and an invisible cloak to mind your life.
This is The Arrow and the Song by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. I shot an arrow into the air. It fell to earth, I knew not where. for so swiftly it flew, the sight could not follow it in its flight. I breathed a song into the air, it fell to earth I knew not where. For who has sight so keen and strong that it can follow the flight of a song? Long, long afterward, in an oak, I found the arrow still unbroke, and the song from beginning to end I found again in the heart of a friend. Thank you, Karen, for the song. I love the harmony. The harmony is beautiful.
Hi. Oh, okay. Is that good? Is that better? Okay.
Perfect.
Hello. So I decided yesterday that I would come here for the first time. My name's Margot. I said it a little bit earlier. And I was very excited to see that there would be poems this week because I really enjoy them, and it kind of felt very fateful that I decided to come for the first time. So this is From Blossoms by Lee Young Lee. From blossoms comes this brown paper bag of peaches we bought from the boy at the bend in the road where we turned toward signs painted peaches. From laden boughs, from hands, from sweet fellowship in the bins, comes nectar at the roadside, succulent peaches we devour, dusty skin and all. Comes the familiar dust of summer, dust we eat. Oh, to take what we love inside, to carry within us an orchard, to eat not only the skin but the shade, not only the sugar but the days, to hold the fruit in our hands, adore it, and then bite into the round jubilance of peach. There are days we live as if death were nowhere in the background, from joy to joy to joy, from wing to wing, from blossom to impossible blossom, to sweet impossible blossom.
Good morning. This poem is by Robert Frost. Some say the world will end with fire. Some say with ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it has to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate. I'm sorry, I knew I had to say this. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and will suffice.
No, please. I just didn't see you.
Not every person has the good fortune of returning to Florida and finding a special friend, companion, and lover. So this is my poem. It's by E.E. Cummings. I like my body when it is with your body. It is quite so new a thing. Muscles better and nerves more. I like your body. I like what it does. I like its house. I like to feel the spine of your body and its bones, and the trembling, firm smoothness, and which I will again and again and again kiss. I like kissing this and that of you. I like slowly stroking the shocking fuzz of your electric fur. And what is it? Comes parting flesh and eyes, big love crumbs. And possibly I like the thrill of under me, you so quite new.
This is a poem that my mother used to recite to me. She knew several of Paul Laurence Dunbar's poems, and this is always my favorite. He was criticized a great deal by the poets of the writers of the Harlem Renaissance because he liked to write in dialect. and they felt that that was below him, but he felt that he wanted to capture that culture and that feeling. And again, this is a rather playful one to remind us that poetry can be playful. So I'm going to be channeling my mother this morning, who recited this from memory. In the Morning by Paul Laurence Dunbar. Liars, liars, bless the Lord. Don't you know the day's abroad? If you don't get up, you scamp, there'll be trouble in this camp. Think I gwine to let you sleep while I make sure board and keep? That's a putty howdy do. Don't you hear me? Liars, you? But if I come across this floor, you won't find no time to snow. Daylight all a-shining in while you sleep. Why, it's a sin. Ain't the candlelight enough to burn out without a snuff? But you go the morning through, burning up the daylight too. Liars, don't you hear me call? No use turning toward the wall. I can hear that mattress squeak. Don't you hear me when I speak? This here clock done struck off 6. Caroline, bring me them air sticks. Oh, you down, sir, huh? You down? Look here, don't you dare to frown. March yourself and wash your face. Don't you splatter all the place. I got something else to do besides just cleaning after you. Take that comb and fix your head. Looks just like a feather bed. Look here, boy, I let you see. You shan't roll your eyes at me. Come here, bring me that strap. Boy, I'll whup you till you drap. You done felt yourself too strong, and you surely got me wrong. Sit down at that table there. Just you whimper if you dare. Every morning in this place seems like I must lose my grace. Fold your hands and bow your head. Wait until the blessing said. Lord, have mercy on our souls. Don't you dare to touch them rolls. Bless the food we going to eat. You sit still, I see your feet. You just try that trick again. Get us peace and joy. Amen.
I don't think we can go. Oh, come on up, Sue.
This has been my favorite poem for jeepers, I don't know, years and years and years. And my children tell me I used to recite it to them as well. So you see how appropriate it might be. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
Beautiful. Do you guys agree? Thank you for everybody who has brought something with them to share. So let's rise in body or spirit to kind of close this part off and sing Rising Green, which is hymn number 1068 in your teal hymnal. In our tradition, congregations exist because of the generous support of members and friends. It is our privilege and our responsibility to ensure the health and future of this fellowship. To this end, your offerings support the ministry of this fellowship, whether by pledge or donation, and may be offered online or in the church, in the fellowship. There are several ways you can give. You can drop your donation in the baskets that are going to be passed around by the greeters. You can mail checks to the office, drop them in our mailbox, or call the office to make arrangements. We're also equipped to accept donations through Venmo app. Payments through this app should be made to UUFCC offering. Your generosity is always appreciated. And if you're new or you're here with us for the first time, please don't feel obligated to give. Your presence is our gift, and so was that poem. Felt like I just, when I was a kid, we had horses and they had this electric fence. And, this is how bright I am. We would have a contest on how long we could hold on to the electric fence. That being reminded me of that. Not a smart move. Might explain some of my behavior. Right, now's the time we highlight our special events and activities. You'll see some written on the back of your order of service, and these are in addition to that. Lunch Bunch is meeting at Curry and Kebab, and that is on 3492 North Tamiami, Port Charlotte. So it's pretty close to here. Left on Tamiami.
Just past Harbor Boulevard on the left.
Okay, just past Harbor Boulevard on the left. Cool. All right, so I'm looking forward to that, and that starts at 12:30. Our new to UU information breakfast will be at 9:30 a.m. on Saturday, September 21st. All are welcome. Please register with Anna or Sandy in the office. So if this is something that you want to know more about what we do and who we are, and you might be interested in becoming a member or a friend or just an active person in the fellowship, we'd love for you to come. And the breakfast is good, and the people who talk are good, and all's good. So, all right, next Sunday is Potluck Sunday. And so make sure you come with an empty belly, because there's always a lot of food and a lot to enjoy. An empty belly. And maybe we'll have wine too. Who knows? I'm just kidding. All right, next is, I just wanted to bring this up. If you have heard through the grapevine, I'm going to be heading up the auction this year the services auction for the fellowship. And I know it's too early to plan, but I want to put it in your brains that we're going to meet sometime in the beginning of October. And we're going to do that because we want to wait for the people to come back from the north and join in on it. And so I'll be holding a meeting here, and I'm hoping that I get several volunteers. And Lori and I talked about a lot of different ideas with services and things like that. So even if you don't want to be on the committee, if you have something you want to add to it or contribute to that, it would be great, because we would really like to make this a success. It's very important in our fundraising side, and it's also a really fun thing to do. Have I missed anything? Okay, because I think I read all of them. All right, perfect. Closing words by Emily Richard. You may be changed. May you be changed. May you leave this time together changed. May the promises you have made to yourself about who you want to be feel closer to the reality of who you are right now. May you share that feeling of transformation wherever you go. May it spread into every word, deed, thought, and interaction to where we are all changed, transformed, and transforming together, becoming our better selves. Now, if Lori would extinguish the chalice, we'll extinguish it, but not the light of the community, the light of hope, the fire of commitment, or the warmth of community. And if you wouldn't mind repeating the words in your order of service after me, that'd be great. We extinguish the chalice, but not the light of hope, the fire of commitment, or the warmth of community. May those ideals shine in our lives and warm our hearts till we are together again. Go now in peace. I guess I wrote this like E. Cummings. There's no capital letters in here. And with the song, Turn the World Around, in your teal hymnal, it's 1074. Please rise in body and or spirit and join us in singing this very wonderful See You Later song. Yes, and there's, it does need explaining.
This is mostly a reminder for the choir so they don't mess it up. But the song is tricky. Not only does it have 50 pages to it, but first page gets repeated 3 times. So sing verse 1, 2, and 3. The second page is normal. Third page, you start with do you know. You go to the top of page 4. You repeat back to page 3, and this time you sing, do you know who I am? Do you know who you are? Blah, blah, blah. Turn over page 4, page 5. Another surprise, we sang 1, 2, and 3, repeating those 3, and then Ryan will give us an incredible glissandra. Then you can move on to the final page, page 6, which also gets repeated twice. So hopefully we'll all end up together. If not, we'll see you at the end. Oh my God, I'm taking all of it.
Just one last thing. After we repeat that very last part, in part 2, I'm bringing this in. We generally have just the choir going ha at the end. How about everybody join us and go ha at the end? All right?
We come from the mountain, living on the mountain.
Okay, remember, wake your phones. Please join us for coffee and conversation in the social hall. Have a wonderful week. And I really enjoyed today. It was really great. Thank you so much for all that you contributed.
Yeah.